In 1983, Disney fired a guy for believing in computer animation. 20 years later, it cost them $7.5 billion to hire him back. Meet John Lasseter, the man who helped change animation forever. The story starts in the late 1970s when Lasseter lands a job as a young animator at Disney, quickly making a name for himself working on the movie The Fox and the Hound. Then in 1982, Disney releases a live-action movie called Tron, one of the first films to ever use CGI. Lasseter sees this and is mind blown. He realizes computers aren't just for special effects, they could revolutionize animation. At the time, everything was drawn by hand, which means a 5 to 10 second scene could take days to make and have hundreds of drawings in it. Lasseter knew CGI could cut production time and cost, so he decides to pitch a hybrid CGI project called The Brave Little Toaster, combining computer backgrounds with hand-drawn characters, the first of its kind. But the Disney execs hated it. They believed CGI would kill the magic of traditional hand-drawn animations. So instead of being pioneers, they fired him. But Lasseter knew CGI would be the future, so he decides to join a tiny graphics division at Lucasfilms. In 1984, the graphics team was so small that most people at the studio didn't even know it existed. But 2 years later, Steve Jobs buys the graphic division for $10 million and rebrands it to Pixar. Here, Lasseter is finally free to chase his vision. He starts directing groundbreaking animated shorts like Tin Toy, which wins an Oscar. But his real goal was to make the world's first full-length CGI animated movie. And after years of trying, he finally pulls it off in 1995 when Pixar releases Toy Story. It becomes a massive hit, making over $350 million in the box office. And it proves CGI wasn't just possible. It was the future. After that, they made hits like Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles. Then in 2006, Disney desperately wanted their CGI technology, so they ended up buying Pixar for $7.4 billion. Now, Lasseter didn't have equity in Pixar, so he didn't get a huge buyout. But the company that fired him for wanting to use CGI just hired him back as the chief creative officer for both Pixar and Walt Disney Animation. He went on to help them make Ratatouille, Frozen, Moana, and a lot more. And it's funny because the reason he got fired was the same reason that saved Disney's whole animation division.